Tony, after, I think it was after the Swansea game, he said at this stage it's not about fitness, it's about the team's mentality. So kind of come back from that poor run. How much work do you do on that? Because obviously you train, but mentally, how do you kind of get through to the players?
Well, like I said before, I think the big thing with the run of defeats that we had was that in those games, at least 4 of those games, I hate repeating myself, we've played really well. So it's not hard trying to convince the players by showing them different clippings of the games. It's not as though they're coming out of the games with a negative. The only negative was that we didn't get the result we deserved, really, if we'd have been more clinical in the final third. So that wasn't really difficult. There's been much more difficult times in my career where teams have gone on bad runs and the team has actually deserved to get beat. And they're the times where you have to really, really dig in and psychologically try and get into the players. But it's not as bad. Well, in some ways it's not as bad when you're playing well. It hurts, but you can see that the players are trying to do the right things.
When it kind of gets out of the team's hands, when it does rely to a degree on teams around you, does that affect the players as well, or do they just park that?
Well, the important thing is, as I've said all along, is just concentrate. People in this country get too affected by what other people are doing instead of concentrating on what they do. And I think what we've got to do is concentrate on what we can affect, what we can do. We have 4 games left. The next game's always the most difficult. And it's against my old club, and it's going to be a tough game. What we've got to do is make sure we prepare properly and get the result we all want.
When you come up against your former clubs, does it add extra heat, extra spice for you, or is it just another game?
Well, this one is special, obviously, because I spent a lot of time there, and I've got great affection for Peter Coates and the family. He's a wonderful man. He was a really fantastic chairman for me at a younger age, and he gave me the opportunity and the chance and the guidance that I think you need at that age. And he was a very, very special person, and his family are. And, you know, they're really bastions of society in Stoke-on-Trent. What they've done with their business there is just extraordinary. And the football club is in really good hands because the family will look after that football club. Very similar to what Steve does here.
With this kind of run coming up, I mean, Boro, you've got everything to play for. Stoke at the minute don't, but to a degree, does that make them a more dangerous prospect? They can play with a bit of freedom and kind of relax a little bit.
I'm not concerned about Stoke at all. I'm just more concerned about, you know, the injury problems, and we've had another one this week. Dale Fry's going down this week and will not play again this season. And it's a massive, massive blow again, you know, to lose another defender so quickly. You know, to have Ayala, George Friend, and now Dale go. You know, 3 players who were in our back line. To lose them all within 10 days is just is really, really disappointing. But you know, we've got to get on with it. It's one of those that we can't moan and groan about it. We've got to get on with it. And we need, as I've said to him yesterday, we need that spirit, that togetherness to really see us through. And yeah, tough game, but we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice day. You know, the pitch is fabulous down there at the Riverside at the moment. It's a great pitch to play on. And, you know, we really need to have a go.
You mentioned the season ticket sales, which have been great. Is that an indication to you then that after perhaps, you know, the fans kind of being a bit difficult during a bad run, but they believe that the team can get
you know, the thing in life and the thing in everyday life now is that people think success just comes. Well, it doesn't. You have to work for it. And, you know, switching a button on or turning the TV off or changing your phone every 3 months or whatever they do, or changing this and changing that, has become the norm. And, you know, I've always thought that with, you know, good people in charge and stability, got a better chance of success than chopping, changing. Because, you know, people come in, and this happens in football, and it's part and parcel of it. People come in, they have their own ideas, they change things, and you don't get the continuity. You know, if you look at clubs and how many managers they change and how many managers they go through now, it's pretty frightening. So, you know, it's a good club. There's lots of things at the football club that are in the right position and they're pointed the right way. There's other things that are not, and that we still, and we know them, and we still have to improve on them. And we have to make sure that they're done properly or done better than what they have been doing in the past. That's very, very important and important for the club. But the thing I'm focused on is those 4 games, and the next one, as I've said, is the most important one.
Steve Gibson this week has called for EFL to look at Villa Derby and Sheffield Wednesday over the financial regulations. Is it something that you've been aware of, and is it something that's affected Middlesbrough?
Well, I think what Steve has done, he's cut his cloth according to the rules, and the football club have cut their cost according to the rules, and he stuck and worked within the rules of the FBLF or the EFL. If you're doing that, you expect everybody else to do it, and if they don't do it, then you expect them to be punished, and if they're not punished, you want to know why they're not punished, and I think that's what Steve's trying to find out.